If you were born into a mafia family in California, imagine being born in California, not in an ordinary neighborhood, but in a large mansion overlooking the Malibu coast. On the day you were born, your father didn't just reserve a hospital room, he reserved an entire floor. Two men in black suits stood by the elevator all night. They spoke quietly into radios attached to their ears. Nurses and doctors walked past them as if it were completely normal. No one asked who they were. In California, there's a rule that many people understand very well. Don't ask too many questions. You grow up in a house where everything is always prepared in advance. Luxury cars are parked outside every morning. A housekeeper cleans every room. A driver is always waiting if the family needs to go somewhere. And almost always, a few men in suits stand near the doors. They don't talk much. They don't smile much. But they are always there. When you were younger, you thought they were just your father's friends. Your childhood looks like a dream to many people. A large house, a swimming pool in the backyard, vacation trips. You have nice clothes, expensive toys, and everything a child could want. But there's something slightly different. You don't go to a normal school. Private tutors come to the house every day. Mathematics, history, foreign languages. Your father believes education is very important, but he often says something you didn't understand when you were young. He says, you need to understand how the real world works. At the time, you think he's talking about business. Around the time you turn 10, you begin noticing a few strange things. Guests often arrive after midnight. Luxury cars stop at the gate. Men in suits walk into your father's office. They carry briefcases, but you rarely see them open. The conversations are always quiet, and they usually stop the moment you enter the room. Your mother always smiles and gently leads you outside. She says your father is just working. As you grow a little older, you begin noticing how people react to your father. At restaurants, the owner often comes out personally to greet him. Waiters suddenly become extremely polite. Some people shake your father's hand with both hands. Others look at him for a long moment, then quickly look away. When your father enters a room, conversations often slow down. Not because he is loud, but because people are careful about what they say when he is nearby. When you grow up in an environment like that long enough, you start to recognize the difference between respect and fear. From the outside, the two can look very similar. When you turn 15, rules start to appear. No posting on social media. No photos during family parties. Don't talk to friends about your father's work. And never bring strangers to the house. You once ask your father why. He simply answers, "Our family prefers quiet." At the time, you don't fully understand what that means. One evening when you are 17, you walk past your father's office. The door is slightly open. Inside, several men are talking. You're not trying to listen, but a few words make you stop. Territory, protection, family. Those words don't sound like normal business conversations. You stand in the hallway long enough to realize one thing. Your father isn't just a businessman. In California, some families operate by very different rules. Systems like that rarely look like crime from the outside. In fact, they often look like very successful businesses. Restaurants, construction companies, transportation companies. Everything has legal licenses. Contracts have signatures. The numbers appear in financial reports. But sometimes, behind those numbers are stories that are never written down. Relationships built over many years. Deals made during late-night dinners. Rules that everyone understands, but rarely says out loud. When you turn 21, you start seeing that system working more clearly. A small restaurant in the city always seems busier than expected. A construction company keeps winning major contracts. Some businesses seem to operate incredibly smoothly. From the outside, it all looks like success. But from the inside, things are a little more complicated. At 23, you begin working in one of the family companies. The job title sounds very normal. Consultant? You have an office, business cards, Meetings with lawyers and project managers. Everything looks like a completely legitimate business. And most of the time, it actually is. But sometimes, you realize there are conversations that happen after the main meeting ends. Conversations that are never written in the minutes. Sometimes at night, you stand by the glass window of the house overlooking the lights of Los Angeles. Somewhere down there, people are living completely normal lives. Students walking home after class, couples having dinner in small restaurants, people worrying about very simple problems. And sometimes you wonder, if you had been born into a different family, would your life look like theirs? Many people think being born into a powerful family is a blessing. Money, influence, doors that are always open. But there is something people rarely talk about when it comes to power. Power doesn't only change the world around you, it also changes the people who are born inside it. From the outside, that life may look perfect. But from the inside, it sometimes feels like something else. A very beautiful cage, built from money, loyalty, and rules you never truly had the chance to choose. If you find stories like this interesting, follow the channel. Every day, we'll explore more stories together. Stories about the lives of the elite, powerful families, the hidden systems operating behind the world's biggest cities. And sometimes, the worlds that most people only ever see from the outside.